All of a sudden, everybody wants in on it. Are you seeing what's happening? One after another. One bit of good news after another. This article is titled XRP Price Jumps. That's not the important part. XRP price jumps as SEC acknowledges Canary Capital and Wisdom Tree XRP ETF filings. Folks, every time Wisdom Tree gets involved, it just seems to me like it's a precursor that the floodgates are about to open. Every time. And let me tell you something, Wisdom Tree doesn't get involved unless they're serious about things. So now we have one company after another filing for XRP ETF. This is going to happen. The golden door is opening. This is what it says. XRP's price rally follows the acknowledgement of multiple XRP filings by the SEC and rumors of delay of Ripple's legal battle with the agency. Delay? I don't know why I said it like that. Forgive me. Delay? What? We read an article the other day where, and once again, we don't have to believe this person. Their word is not law, but a former SEC representative, legal representative. Okay, they said they believe they're going to be dropping the case completely. Why not include that in the title? That's significant. That's why I don't know what I titled the video yesterday, but that was definitely one I hope people watched. If they haven't, go watch that video, at least the first chapter. Just watch that first chapter. That was significant. They never admit to anything like that for 3.5 to going on to 4 years now. I've been doing crypto on this channel. They've battled us tooth and nail. Even the former SEC officials always go against us. That's one of the reasons why that was so significant. When the former officials who 100% always go against you, all of a sudden make a U-turn and say, yeah, they may drop it. That means that they are privy to some significant information. Now, does it have to go that way? No. But it does tell me that they've been told something. They know something that we don't. And that's what's leaning them that way. They don't move or make statements without a catalyst. So that was significant. So yes, rumors of a delay, but also there's rumors of it being completely dropped. And if that happens, which also tells us that if they're preparing for an XRP ETF, and let's say one of them, if they're preparing for an XRP ETF, then clearly all barriers to what XRP can do will be removed. And that's what they're anticipating. That's what that indicates. And that means utility can kick in. That means the deals and partnerships with banks can be announced. More partnerships can be made. XRP will be further legitimized. More money will be made. That price will explode. Not financial advice. That price will explode. Who knows how high? And just remember the global reach. Ripple has done a great job setting up corridors around the world that are ready to go hot. They may be being used now, but not to the extent where they could be used in the future. Then on top of that, there's so many facets to this XRP puzzle. Remember that for the past month and a half, I think it's about a month and a half, Brad Garlinghouse has been flaunting his political connections, and Ripple has been letting people know they're sprinkling money all over the place to pave the way for XRP, for Ripple to absolutely dominate. How far does that take everything? You know, how many more partnerships does that bring? I'm pretty sure that in a lot of these meetings, there's connections being made that weren't there before, which is an unknown variable. But it means that the potentiality could be much higher than what we're anticipating, which is unbelievable if you think about it, because with all the capital that we're tabulating that could come in, even if you take a small percentage of it, there's no way XRP stays below $5. Absolutely no way. If it actuates on that potentiality, there's no way it stays below $5. It just can't be. And at this particular time where it looks like there's not going to be many barriers, if any at all, I just don't see how anything other than a complete failure of XRP could result in anything other than XRP completely exploding and going beyond what people expect. And I think it'll happen very easily. I do. Another thing I want to say, never forget the private ledgers. How many of these institutions are going to operate on those private ledgers? On those private ledgers, they're going to have to keep, not have to, but if they're going to be using it, they'll have an allotment of XRP in flow. Right? An allotment of XRP in flow. I just don't see them constantly having to buy XRP from Ripple. That just doesn't make any sense. That's not efficient at all. I have to go to you every single time I need to do something. I have to go through you. That's like the legacy system. But what can be different is we buy an allotment of XRP, keep it within our closed ecosystem, and have that consistently in flow. Doesn't that make more sense? Now I don't have to go to you because we built institutions with the private networks. There can be dozens to hundreds of businesses in that network. And so now we're just having it flow between us. That's it. And, once I buy that allotment that we need, and we can always upgrade the package, I don't need to go to Ripple anymore. So then what does that mean if something like that were to happen? I hope I'm explaining that clearly. What that means is that you could have dozens to hundreds of networks around the world keeping allotments of XRP in flow within those private ecosystems, within those networks, which then means that there will be less XRP will become rare. There will be less XRP in the world. Why would they not? If I was a business, that's what I would do. I'm not going to continuously be reaching out to Ripple or going through their company or going through their system. Listen, build my customized private ecosystem. Thank you. Let me have my allotment. Be on your way. If I need to reach out to you, then I will. And they're still on XRPL, still affecting. Remember, David Schwartz said there can't be two prices of XRP. So XRP in the private ecosystems will be the same amount, same value as XRP on the public side. OK, that could affect things dramatically if it goes down that road. It doesn't mean it has to. I'm just playing with ideas. But that's significant when you're talking about banks. And now another thing, I do see a connection of sorts with the whole idea of nations wanting to utilize Bitcoin. I think that they'll also use XRP. Bitcoin for, store of value. They definitely will liquidate. They want that Bitcoin to make money. That's another reason why that price is going to explode. But when it comes to utility, when it comes to smart contract deployment, when it comes to trust, when it comes to speed, liquidity, did I say liquidity already? Liquidity. When it comes to payments, cross-border payments, payroll, trust in a company that has worked with some of the biggest companies in the world, when you need something like that, Ripple is number one on that list, I will believe, of the bank coins, I will believe. They're at least somewhere around the top. So, and once again, I think that's why they've been reaching out to a lot of these world leaders. Look at over the years how many world leaders they've interacted with and how many powerful countries they have established a strong relationship with. They're strong in the UK, Bank of England. They're strong in the MENA region, Atawari Jaffa, QNB Bank. They're strong all throughout Asia. They're strong in Latin America. They were one of the first that I read of about 3 years ago, doing heavy work in Mexico. So, they shook hands in Mexico. They did good business there. That was the first place they tried offline QR code payments. They have so many powerful connections. I don't think it's beyond fathoming. They could make a few phone calls and have XRP in the running to serve some purpose for governments and nations as well. Solidly. I know we've played with other ideas of how they could be utilized by nations, but I mean, in this way directly, I think this is the closest way. And I think that they knew that. I think they also knew that this SEC, they would outlast this SEC energy, the negative energy. And that's why they kept fighting, even though a lot of people told them not fight. This company, I'm not easily impressed. I'm not. If you talk to a lot of people around me, they're going to tell you, look, Mick is going to tell you the truth. Number one, well, what he believes is the truth. And I'm going to analyze things. I'm telling you, I'm going to the best of my ability. And so a lot of times I'm going to say, hey, this might need to be corrected. That might need to be corrected. And it's very rare when I'm just like, that's a good job right there. Like that is, I don't see any flaw whatsoever. With this company, I won't say I don't see any flaw, but I will say this. This company's done a good job. Yeah, they have, definitely. There's a lot of companies I'm not satisfied with right now. A lot of them, right? That need to get on their job and do a little bit better. But Ripple has done a great job, like, and under pressure. That's impressive. So now let me float. Let me float another idea. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm giving you the best of the best. I mean, the best that I can give you. If Ripple performed so well, and they did a lot under pressure. They did a lot under fire. If they did so well under fire, how much more can they do? How much better can they do now that they're going to be unleashed and there's going to be no pressures? You think about that, right? They theoretically should be able to run across the table and just do everything they wanted to do and more, which would mean that XRP price could go higher. It could be utilized in ways by companies we're not even foreseeing foreseeing them using XRP. And that's another thing. I know we've discussed it on this channel, but a lot of people don't discuss. Once again, I want to put on the table small and medium-sized businesses, folks. I don't think Ripple has forgotten about them. If Ripple has thought about, and they've talked about this, the small and medium-sized banks, the commercial banks, the smaller banks, if they've thought about them, you have to take into account all of that value, which is a ton of value on the table from the small and medium-sized regular businesses. They've released article after article pretty much crying for new technology, crying for global reach and full automation. That's another thing, full automation. And I think that Ripple would do well, and a lot of these companies would do well with possibly offering some sort of classes or whatever on full automation at some point. It doesn't have to be live classes, but like put something together where people access video on demand. I'm telling you, and in teaching these small and medium-sized businesses about how to utilize full automation via DLT technology and AI, which Ripple, that's another thing. Ripple, I have yet to hear an update, and I believe that one's coming significantly on their integration of AI. They made that clear in, I think, 2023 and 2024, that that's something that they were aiming at, is integrating AI into their systems. They're one of many of the big Bitcoin companies that said that. But do that for the small, medium-sized businesses. They will be very grateful. Oh, yes, they will. The small and medium-sized businesses want to and need to make a lot of money very fast right now. And let me tell you, the world is getting in a situation where I think that there's a lot of money to be made because people are willing to buy. They've been conditioned over the years to be able to buy online from anywhere. Right? You have US. I'm going to take the US as an example of what I mean. You have those apps that popped up, which people are still complaining about to this day because there's such competition. But you look at like the Shein app and was it Temu, whatever. People will buy from the US. They'll buy from overseas. They'll buy from wholesalers. Right now, the customers they're not worried about where it's coming from. That's what? That's a great opportunity. If you're watching that psychology, there's no way someone's saying to themselves, they have to be saying to themselves, this is money to be made, right? This is an opportunity before that changes, right? Because once if people start to get reconditioned over the years to be more, I don't know how to phrase it, local, more patriotic. Oh, we're just going to buy from only our country. The psychology could change. And what happens then if they only want to buy, let's say U.S. citizens, as an example, only want to buy from U.S., which to each his own. But as a business person, that's now, you just blew the opportunity and now money's off the table. But you got to understand that that takes time. That conditioning takes time, right? So until that condition, if it happens, until that conditioning sets in place, there's money to be made all over the world. Oh, yes. So full automation with AI is something that companies like Ripple, Chainlink, Solana, Algorand, Stellar could definitely take advantage of. And I think they know that. They're holding a lot back. If I know this, I believe they know this. I do. I feel that way. I'm one researcher and I'm working on a lot of different projects and still I know this information. They have dedicated researchers that I know are privy to this. And once again, the small businesses have been reaching out in mass. They've been reaching out and they've been releasing articles through a lot of these big major websites about that. So, okay. The future is looking unbelievably bright for XRP. All right. So that's what it means. So now let's go here to a little bit of A little bit of Bitcoin news. I have no idea how long this video is now because I had to chop this video up. I had a couple of things I had to run and do. I don't know if you can spot the chops, probably can. But now, this article is titled Bitcoin Price Analysis, a massive move is brewing. Breakout or breakdown ahead? What do you think? Breakout or breakdown? It says this: Bitcoin currently trades at $97,821 to $98,313 over the last hour at the time of this article, of course, boasting a $1.96 trillion market valuation and a $54.21 billion in daily activity, oscillating between $96,147 and $100,760 today. It lingers 9.2% shy of its historic peak, a threshold tantalizingly close, yet just out of immediate reach. Let's scroll down a little bit here past this giant picture that they have here. Bitcoin's daily price action paints a tempestuous tale. Precipitous drop followed by a valiant rebound. Support coalesced near $91,000, echoing past buying enthusiasm, while the $104,000 to $109,000 per Bitcoin barrier stands as an unyielding fortress. Momentum oscillators offer conflicting cues. The commodity channel index CCI at a -140 whispers of bargain hunting prospects. I believe I read that correctly. While the MACD's 117 reading hums a cautionary tale of bearish undertones. We will see. Listen, I said this many times. Short term, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down a bit and it'll go back up. But there will be volatility. I wouldn't say there's a bearish energy building because then that sounds more permanent. I don't think it's going to be permanent at all. At all. The companies are not going to let that happen. They're just not. We just read a report the other day on the channel of the companies, once again, are being reported as buying Bitcoin up. That's what made Bitcoin go up again. They're not going to stop. You see, they're serious about not being left behind. They don't want to be left out. And right now, a lot of their advisors are telling them big things. Their researchers and advisors are telling them big things. I'll keep it obtuse and opaque like that, okay? Not financial advice. This is just what they're telling the companies, okay? And the companies are going for it. They're going for it. And I understand why. So every time there's a dip, they're going to jump in, and that's what we saw. So I don't think it's going to be long, even if Bitcoin were to go down. We read another article the other day was saying where, well, if Bitcoin goes down to 70,000, it's nothing. I agree with that. I'm not worried about Bitcoin at all, although I don't know if it necessarily will go that low. Could it? Yes. But do I think that's likely? No, but who knows? Crypto is highly unpredictable, but I wouldn't be worried at all. Because these big companies are going to gobble it up, and the nations haven't even gotten involved yet. So you're seeing Bitcoin being propped up right now by just a small percentage of companies. You still have the massive companies, at least in the US, that have yet to get into Bitcoin, but are constantly making it known that they want to get into Bitcoin. You have states now getting involved with Bitcoin. And we're about to read about that. So let's jump there because once again, I don't want to make the video too long and I can't see the time of how long it's been already. So let's jump to this article here to show you an example of how bullish Bitcoin really is. Okay. Montana becomes fourth U.S. state to advance Bitcoin reserve bill to House. It's coming. It's close. It's building. We're watching it. It's a beautiful thing to see something right in front of you. We don't have to guess. We're watching this build up to some sort of explosion. And it's up to you, obviously, to determine how high you think Bitcoin is going to go. And yes, when it hits 150,000, yes, I will be selling a little bit of Bitcoin. Yes, I will. I'm going to keep a little bit. Montana has passed just a little bit. Montana has passed a Bitcoin reserve bill at the subcommittee level, making it the fourth U.S. state to advance a related bill to the House. Montana's House Business and Labor Committee has passed a bill that could open the door for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to become reserve assets. Montana's Business and Labor Committee passed a House Bill number 429 in a vote in a 12-8 vote on February the 19th, with all a certain group, be careful on YouTube, a certain group voting in favor and a certain other group voting opposed. Okay, you can look that up for yourself. The fourth crypto reserve bill to reach the House at the state level in the U.S. The measure could create or would create a special revenue account to invest in precious metals, stablecoins, and digital assets with an average market cap above $750 billion over the last year. Out of the digital assets, Bitcoin, which now is showing green at $98,210, is the only one that currently meets this requirement. The bill will now head to Montana's House, a stage in the legislative process that only Utah, Arizona, and Oklahoma have reached when it comes to Bitcoin reserve related bills. But that's good motion. Great motion. After years and years of very little happening, everything is just rapidly, I shouldn't do like this, rapidly taking off. And this is a very exciting time. And who knows how high everything could go. I firmly believe, from all that I'm seeing, I believe that if I take the average prediction of big money makers and big companies that I'm seeing, the average, I think they're looking at, like, seriously, I think they're seriously looking at a range anywhere between $200,000 Bitcoin to $350,000 Bitcoin. I think that's like the safe range, because I'm tabulating in my mind all of these different predictions that they've made, whether they're a representative of a company or they're just a big money whale. And I think that's like the safe range that they're looking for. And once again, I think that the businesses and big money people will prop it up. Nations will prop that price up. I also think watch out for the media push. Once again, watch out for that media push. When you start hearing the media talk about Bitcoin and you see during a healthy spike, start expecting some sell-offs. I think, just my humble opinion, not financial advice, I think I will start looking for some sell-offs. I'm telling you, once it's reached there, that's typically people who get in at that time are the ones who get sold on. So, we'll see. We'll see how everything works out. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.